Hi, guys, it's Christine from Tamar's Hope, and I wanted to come on and um, share something that was on my heart. Um, and I First I want to say that I want to name the title of this video, You Dodged a Bullet. You dodged a bullet. And that word has been inspired by something that just happened to me recently, and it's not specifically a word that God gave me, but it's something that I experienced and that I wanted to share because I believe that there's a message in everything that we go through in life and that we experience. And I also had a dream that really coincided with that word. And so I had this experience the other night where I was just kind of like, scrolling through social media, and I had found something that I came across some. I don't even know how it happened. It just came up in my feed, but I came across some people that I used to hang out with a very, very, very long time ago. And it's kind of one of those things where, and I'm sure you guys, I have gone through it also, but I was going through the friends list of, certain people that were coming up in my feed, and kind of went down like a bunny trail of, you know, going on one person's friends and seeing who they were friends with, and then tapping on those people and seeing who they were friends with, and so on. And as I was doing that, I probably got like kind of like sucked in for about 10 minutes or so, and then I realized that it dawned on me that my life could have really, really gone down a dark path. Um, and even with everything that I have been through in my life, it still could have been so much worse than even the things that I have already gone through. And that was really like a very, eye opening awareness to me that, as bad as things may have been, they could have been so much worse. And a lot of these people went down some really deep, dark paths. And a lot of them, I don't believe, are walking with the Lord, or they don't have a relationship with God. And, even though I've been through all the things that I've gone through, at least through it all, I can honestly say, like, I have always had, not always, but for the most part, I've always had a really strong, close connection with God. And a lot of these people, I don't think that they, have a relationship with God in that way. And so I just wanted to come on and say that, you know, when I was looking at that list of people that I used to, go and hang around with, and I used to be with and hang out and do things with, that, I decided at one point in my life I didn't want to have any more contacts or connection with, I really realized how, God spared me from my life going down even a darker path than even already what I had gone through and the things that had happened to me. So, and I also wanted to just share that after that situation that happened, I went to sleep, and I don't know if it's because I went to sleep right after that and I was looking at that list before I went to bed and went to sleep. But I had a dream, and in the dream, I was back at um, an old apartment I used to live in. That I loved this apartment, and I raised my son. I was a single mom in this apartment, and and this is in real life, there was this, but it was also in the dream. There was this landlord that used to really like me a lot, and I could tell like he just liked anybody because he, used to have a lot of different women and he around the house, and he was married, and I could tell like, if I had led on to you know, the idea that I was interested, like I knew like if I indicated to him in any way that he would, he would be interested because he was already interested. So, and he was giving off those signals and that vibe. And in the dream, I was back at that apartment, and my son was older. My son was who he is today, even though when we were actually living there, he was a younger, little boy. But in the dream, he was the age that he is today, and I really wanted to be with my son, and I was willing to do almost anything to be with my son because I just wanted to be more involved in his life. And so in the dream, the landlord was still trying to pursue me and still trying to trying to get me to give in to him and his just the way that he was pursuing me. And I didn't want anything to do with it. Like I just was like, I just didn't want any part of that. But I did want to be around my son, and so I tried my best to avoid him and to dodge him, but I was still, I was still around my son, and he was around, so I was trying to avoid him and stay away from him to the best that I could, but he was still around because he's the landlord. So I woke up from that dream and I was just really thinking I kind of was doing some self-reflection, like was there anything inside of me that maybe in either real life at that time, or even in the dream, that was flattered, or that he was interested, or maybe wanted to be playing hard to get. And what I realized was that after I kind of did that self introspection, there was no motive that was wrong on my part. And the word that just came to me after I had that dream and after I thought about it was, you dodged a bullet. You dodged a bullet. And now it wasn't the wisest thing to be in. I mean, obviously it was a dream, but it wasn't the wisest thing for me to be in that, that proximity of that situation. But I wanted to be with my son so bad and really just be more involved in his life that I was basically willing to do anything except that. Like my boundary was clear. I was not going to do that. But I would do it as long as I could until it was I was still unable to. So, and in the dream, when I finally realized that I was no longer able to pull it off, that's when I finally left. And, I left that situation and that apartment. And so as I was thinking about that dream, and then I was thinking about going through that friends list yesterday, the night before that I had that dream, it really dawned on me that I dodged a bullet. And I felt like I just wanted to come on and share that. I feel like there's a lot of people in your life where, you've dodged some bullets where you don't even realize what God spared you from, and really the deep, dark path that you could have gone down had it not been for the Lord. And even though you've been through a lot of things in your life so far, and you feel like maybe there's, you don't think like there was anything else that you would be able to go through or be able to handle, like God really spared you from some